Good morning, everybody. Christine Ludwig here from Christine's Stamping Spot. Thank you for joining me today on Friday, March the 20th. Yes. Say hello in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from or where you're watching from or if it's on the replay. Would love to see who is tuning in to watch. So yes, happy first day of spring. Yes, I understand today is officially, as of, I think it was 8:40 Mountain Time, so our time zone. 8:40 a.m. officially, spring has rolled in. However, yes, looking out our window, it looks a little more like first day of winter. We actually had some great weather this week. We had a day or two where it was like +10, +15 Celsius. The snow was melting, water was running. It was so refreshing. The squirrels were absolutely going crazy, running back and forth. And then yesterday, we actually even had a lot of rain, if you can believe it. And then this morning, now it's kind of some wet flurries or flurries with a bit of rain, I think, coming down. So supposed to get back to about the +1s this coming week. So I hope wherever you are that you're having really beautiful sunny skies and warm spring temperatures. I'm still waiting to hear a robin, but I think that might be a few weeks down the road. I'm not sure. So I hope you're all enjoying spring. Tulips, crocuses. I spoke with a girlfriend out on the West Coast and she said, yes, everything is blooming. They have to mow their grass and yeah, a little envious, but gotta say. So today, I know it is the first day of spring, but we're gonna make kind of more of a beachy type theme card. And we're going to use the new Rolling Waves bundle, which is one of the new online exclusive items for March. Now, this set was really popular, and then it was on back order for a while and was supposed to come in this coming week with some other stamps and bundles that were sold out quite quickly. But I'm happy to say it's already back in stock. So if you are loving this set or had wanted it and weren't able to order it, last I checked yesterday, it was on the ordering list again. So check that out if you're interested. So just give me 1 second to turn my phone around and then I'll show you what we're going to do. So hang on. All right, can you all see that? The work surface there. Okay. So it's a little bit gray and cloudy, so it's a little bit darker in here in my room here today. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I apologize for some of the shadows. Okay, so here we are. This is the Rolling Wave stamp set and the coordinating dies. So you get some really nice images and some great little greetings. And these are the dies. Like, are they not amazing? So you have a couple of different wave dies that you can incorporate, some individual shell dies, and this really great piece here that are shells and starfish, and it's one die, but all of these cut out individually. Okay, so that's really cool. And then you've got these extra little pieces here. These are meant to be like umbrella tops, you know, if you're sitting on the beach, some nice big leaf here. So lots of choices for different themes of the cards. So we are going to use the stamp set and these dies today. So this idea for today was inspired by the Westcoast Papercrafter. First name is Kate, and I'm sorry I don't know her last name, but she is an amazing artist. She lives out on Vancouver Island, so very, very appropriate for her to design a card like this because she's right close to the ocean, right on the ocean probably. And I really loved how she did this. did this particular layout. So we're going to copy what she did, maybe switch it up just a teeny bit, and use some of those great dyes for the waves. Okay, so I'll show you how we're going to do this. So we're going to start with a piece of Coastal Cabana. Okay, so this is cut at 4 by 4. And from the stamps, we are going to pull out this large water stamp here. Okay, so we're going to mount that on a rather large block because it's quite wide. So where's my big block? This one is even a little bit small, but it's okay because the width of the stamp is a little bit larger than our cardstock. So what we're going to do is stamp this on our Coastal Cabana with Coastal Cabana ink. Okay, it just sounds so wonderful, this color, doesn't it? Coastal Cabana. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I don't know if there's a right or wrong as far as an upside down or not. So we're going to start up at the top, and then I'm going to stamp again without re-inking. Okay, and then I'm going to re-ink and stamp again, and then stamp one more time. Okay, so I might even just try to stamp these little corners here a little bit. All right, so that is our background with Coastal Cabana. Oh, I'm going to still need this. I'm just going to set this aside for a second. And then I did cut out 2 of those wave dies. So I cut out, let me show you here. I cut out this large one and this one, just out of basic white. Now, I did do a project using this on my Mystery Monday video this last week, so I used, I think, maybe a 3rd wave as well. So if you want to check that out, check back to Monday's video and you can see that project and what I did there. So I'm going to set this one aside and we're going to work with this one. And we're going to do a teeny bit of sponging on here, okay? So with the Coastal Cabana, you're just going to ink up this piece here. And you can go as light or dark as you like. This is just going to be one of the waves coming in from the ocean. How many of you live on the coast? Do any of you live like on one of, well, Canada, we have 3 coasts. We have the east, the west, and the north. We are closest to the west, to the Pacific Ocean, which we have seen many times, and I've been fortunate enough to see the East Coast as well, Atlantic Canada, which was also very beautiful. Okay, and those of you that live in California, that's wonderful too. Okay, so I think that's a lot. And we're good with that. And then close this up. And then let me just double check here that everything is working. Here we go. Okay, we're good. Just making sure that we are live. Never know. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move this out of the way for a second, and we're going to take our second piece, and this is going to go on, so it'll be like this. This will be the water coming in, this will be the waves, and this piece, if you can see, is going to fit right on top of this edge here at the bottom. Is that not just so perfect? I think that's awesome. So I'm just going to add that with some glue. Now, where did I put my... I did have my silicone mat, but it disappeared on me. Oh, here it is. It's hiding underneath my stamps. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue just because this is so fine, I could try adhesive or an adhesive sheet. I did do that also. Oh, this is coming out here. Oh, there we go. I did use an adhesive sheet on Monday's project, and that worked really, really well. In case you're a little worried about, you know, some of this glue coming through, but it does dry, so it's not too bad. And you don't need very much on this piece. Okay, so let's turn this around. I'll get glue everywhere. And then we're going to line this up on this layer, this wave right here. Okay, so with our glue, you do have a little bit of wiggle room, which is nice. Okay, I'm just going to wipe my fingers. I don't like gluey fingers. How about you? I don't like them sticky and then they stick to all my other pieces. Not my fave, but okay, I'm just going to take a tissue and just sort of press this down a bit, get off some of that extra glue. Okay, so see how that just naturally falls into place. Oh, I love it. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this at an angle on top of this Coastal Cabana piece that we just sponged or stamped. I guess you could sponge it, I guess, if you didn't want to use the stamp, but it has some nice variegations in the stamp, some little nooks and crannies that, you know, give a nice bit of dimension to that stamp. Okay, so you could put this on straight if you wanted. I'm going to put it at an angle, like so. So again, I'm going to add some glue. Now here you could just put adhesive if you wanted, but I'll just stick with the glue. Just put a little bit all around. I think this one is almost empty. Or maybe it's just the light. I'm not really seeing it come out very well today. Oh, how are things the first day of spring where you are? Are you guys all heading out for a nice walk, or is it raining? Because that's always spring weather too. We always get tons of rain sometimes, depending where you live. I know for us on the coasts, we also get a lot of rain, so I have to kind of pick. All right, so I did have a little bit of glue come through, but that's okay. So let me just move this up so you can see. And I'm going to put this, maybe more, depends how much of the blue you want to show. Okay, so I'm going to put it about there. Okay, so just kind of, I'm going to just sort of tap that down. Okay, so now we have this, and we have these edges that are hanging over, so of course I put glue on them. We're just going to snip those off, okay? There's one, and then, whoop, might be a little bit wet from the glue still. Okay, so let me just get these sticky things out of the way. Wipe my fingers. Oh, excuse me. I think you all know liquid glue is probably not my first choice of adhesive, but it was warranted in this case, so that's not a problem. Okay, so now we have this all by itself. Looks really cool, doesn't it? Oh, I love it. Okay, so then we're going to bring out a piece of crumb cake. This is 5 1/4 by 4. And this will fit exactly on top, right? But the first thing we need to do is cut off this bottom part of the water, because we just want the beach, so to speak, to show. So I'm just going to take my snips and just trim around here. A lot of little nooks and crannies in these waves. So just take your time. You're going to run that through. I'm not a very quick cutter either. Oh, but this is so worth it. Kate had a really, really great design here. I really like this. Just gives you the feeling of the beach. Just get rid of that. Okay, almost there. All right, so go around and to this end. I think that's pretty good. You can always go back if you missed a couple of spots. There, I think that's okay. Oh, maybe this one a little bit more. Okay, that should be all right. So, see how that looks different already? I like that a lot. Oh, hi Marlene, good morning. Hi Kathleen. Okay, so now this will eventually go up here. But what I want to do is I want to add a few little stamps to look like sand. So in our stamp set, there is this little stamp right here. Made to look, I'm interpreting it as sort of grains of sand. So you know how sand also washes up onto the beach with those rolling waves. So I'm going to take my crumb cake and I'm going to take out that little stamp. And I've kind of put this on top so I kind of know where I want it to go. So I'm just going to kind of work my way up a little bit. So it's there, just to give you a bit of a guideline. Now you can stamp full strength and then off, full strength, off. Okay, just so you have a little feeling of the sand that's coming up with those rolling waves. So let's see if I went too high or, okay, I'm going to put just a teeny bit down here. So that's why I didn't put this on just yet, because I needed to know where, and that's better. You see those little grains of sand that are being washed up? Just adds a little something, I think. Okay, so now we can attach this large wave in our ocean. Okay, so put this right at the top, and this is also 4 inches across, so it should match up and line up. Okay, just like one of our layers on one of our cards. Okay, so just give that a little press. Well, is it starting to look like an ocean and a beach? Oh my gosh, I think that's so great. I love it. Okay, so before I put this on, I still want to add a greeting and I want to add a little bit of twine. So for the greeting, you've got a couple to choose from. Hope your day is perfect. Thank you. You're in my thoughts. Bon voyage. So if someone's going on a great spring break, tropical vacation, that's always nice. Hoping your day is perfect. That's kind of a nice one too. That could also be for a birthday, but I think I'll just stick with happy birthday this time. So we have a really neat font for that. And that one, I'm going to stamp in Secret C, okay, because we are going to use Secret C as our actual card base. All right, so I'm just going to ink this up. And this is one of our in colors that's still with us for, thankfully, another year. But we do have some that are retiring. So those are going to retire the end of April. So if there is anything that you really, really love or need to stock up on. So those would be our colors. Oh, our peach, our petunia pop, our pretty in pink, our shaded, no, I was going to say shaded spruce. That's not right. Shy shamrock. And the other coastal one, I can't remember it. So those are the ones that are going to be leaving us. If we, can imagine, they've been around for 2 years already. So that's quite something. So especially if you need ink refills, that sort of thing. Good time to stock up now before they are all gone. Okay, so again, oh my gosh, some of my stamps, I better move those out of the way. So before I put this on, I am going to add a little bit of twine. So this is from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. So you get some different spools, different colors, vanilla, white, black, and then these two, kind of taupe and more of a brownish. So I think I'm going to stick with the brownish just because it looks a lot like the sand. And so I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to try to get this. I should have stamped this maybe a little bit lower, but maybe I'll just put my twine a little bit lower this time. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back to start. You could just use linen thread as well. I love linen thread. I use that a lot, especially with nautical cards or beach themed cards. I think they're just so perfect. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this around just twice, and I'm just going to sort of overlap it like that. If you wanted to tie a bow, you could certainly do that. But I'm just going to leave it like this. Or you could tie a knot if you wanted to tie a knot in the front. Now, a trick that I've learned not too long ago, and someone I think told me this, is to just make sure your twine or ribbon is secure on the back. I'm just going to add a little piece of tear and tape on there. And that just gives it a little bit more security from hopefully sliding out. And I'm just going to leave the backer on because nobody sees. I'm just going to adjust this a little how I want it. Now you could always, cross over further here and tie a knot or whatever. I'm just going to leave mine like that. Okay, so now we can put this on our base. Okay, so I'm going to bring out our Secret C, 8.5 by 5.5. Okay. And we'll put our adhesive on here, on the back. Oh, okay. And then we will put it on Secret C. Now you could put it on maybe a balmy blue or a crumb cake or Coastal Cabana as well. Kate used Secret C, and I love Secret C, so I'm kind of copying what she did, but this is definitely her idea, and I just wanted to show you how really quite simple it is to make. So, okay, so one more thing is to add our shells, okay? So here we go. This is what I put on my sample. So I had some extras because I cut it out of 3 different colors. Let me just put it on here so you can see. So I cut mine out of Blackberry Bliss, Coastal Cabana, and Crumb Cake. Okay, so like I mentioned, it's one die, but all of these come out separate. So you have little starfish, little shells, conch shells, starfish, little ones, some other shells. Now, what I think I did with these, come to think of it, the crumb cake ones, you could cut them out of regular crumb cake cardstock, but you know what I think I did? I'm just thinking, because I cut these out when I did my Monday video, The crumb cake ones, I cut these out of two-tone, the crumb cake two-tone cardstock. So one side is actually darker than the other. Okay, so that kind of switches up your shells a little bit. So you could have some little darker ones there, some lighter ones mixed in. Yeah, you can just sort of play with that a little bit if you wanted to do that. Otherwise, you can certainly leave them like this. Now, the only thing I will say is on this shell, for example, on the two-tone, you see on the light side where the die was actually cut, it has all these nice little indentations, right, of the shell. But if you were to turn it over, you don't see them quite as well. You do see them, but they're a lot more pronounced on this side. So I would use this side just to show that. The starfish is not so bad as far as it being different. So this would be the light side where the die went. So you see all those little holes, and then inside you can still see them. They're just a little more faint, but it works, okay? All right, so now the decision is, what do we put where and how many? There's quite a few here, and a couple of them, not very many, but the odd ones I am going to pop up on a dimensional. So let me just make myself some room here. I'm going to bring out my silicone mat. So I'm going to start with the Blackberry Bliss, the large one. I'm just going to put regular adhesive on there, and I'm going to put it right here. Okay. And maybe this little guy here. Do I want to pop him up? No, I think I'll just leave him flat. And I'll put him, oops, I guess they can come roll up upside down. We'll put him there, and then we'll put a little star, maybe a crumb cake one. We'll put, oh my goodness, we'll put here at the bottom, okay? So you can still sort of see him in the sand. And then I don't have any large coral ones. I do have these ones. Let's see. Maybe I will do the reverse of this large star. I'll put him up here maybe. Okay. This is just personal preference. However many you want to add, it's totally up to you. Okay, we'll put him there, and then I'm gonna put maybe this little guy. You know what? I'm not going to use dimensionals on this one because this wave kind of pops them up a little bit all by itself. But I will put one there, and maybe a little guy here, the same one. Yeah, I think that might be enough. 2, 3, 6. Yeah, you don't want to overdo it. How many did I do here? I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, see here I did stamp my greeting a little bit lower. This one I stamped in early espresso, and then I thought, I think I'd rather go, I mean, it's fine, but I think the Secret C kind of shows up a little bit better, so I think we'll just stick with that one. Try not to lose all my shells on the carpet. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there you have it. Your Rolling Waves birthday card. What do you think of that? I think it's great. Anybody that loves the beach, I think that would be a great card to give somebody. I think that's really nice. All right, let me just flip my camera around again. Oh, hang on. I think I pressed the wrong button. What did I do? Oh, here we go. There, I pressed the wrong button. Oh my gosh, silly. All right, guys, so I hope you're having a wonderful first day of spring wherever you are. I hope the weekend will be lovely for you. I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know. But spring will come. I'm sure of that. I just don't know when. But I hope you are all enjoying a wonderful spring wherever you are. I hope you all have a great weekend. We have just over 1 week left in March. Oh my gosh. And then it is going to be April. So that's something to look forward to as well. Okay, everybody, I hope you like that project. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'd love to hear your comments if you'd like to leave one. And we will see you again next time. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.